of 11.1, and we're going to do some more with 11.2. Okay?
Is it murphymath.com?
It sure is. Okay, so for 11.1, right here is the directions of how to use the graphing calculator to put data in it. It looks really cool when it does it. So we're going to start with using this data right here for example 1. Isabel knits scarves and sells them online. The table shows prices of scarves she sold last month. At what price were the middle 50 scarves sold? Create a data display that will reveal the answer. Okay. What? Okay, so get it. We've discussed this before, Caleb. You just get another one and you tell me what number. Okay. So we're going to start with our handy dandy graphing calculator, and we're going to follow these instructions and we're going to enter this data. So let's start with grabbing our calculator. We're going to follow the instructions. So it says to open one new document. So we hit number 1, open a new document. Then, if it asks us to save, say no. And then we're going to select 4, which is lists and spreadsheets. And it should look like this. Now this is where we have to be careful. Everybody here, you need to be able to do this, create this in your calculator. So you're on a new document. You've picked add list and spreadsheets. All right. Above this kind of grayish line here, right next to where it says A, we're going to put the letter X. And then we're going to go below the gray. Okay, don't put anything in the gray boxes. And we're going to type in this list of numbers here. So I'm going to type in 35, 32. I'm going to stop saying them out loud. You can type them in. Everybody, the directions are right in front of you.
Wait, what way do we go across?
Down, straight down.
No, I mean like on the paper.
Oh, it doesn't matter what order you put them in. It'll handle all that for you. I'm going horizontally, but you can totally go vertically.
And we just keep doing them.
Got to get all of them in.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
The written directions are
it's
right
confusing.
in front of you. It literally tells you what number to push, Caleb.
Yeah, I already done that part.
What part are you on, Caleb?
It's in cell box 8, enter X over what
Yeah.
data am I looking at?
What are you talking about? Where's your calculator?
Right. It says
Okay, so
X.
above the gray box, put X.
Yeah.
And then go down and you're going to type this information right here.
What is it?
Would you
X.
come here, please?
X.
Come here. Okay. So you're supposed to go above the gray box and type the letter X, just like it says on your sheet. Then go down to number 1 and you're supposed to type into there. Nothing should be typed into any of these.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I've done all of the steps to enter the data. Once you have done yours, let me know.
How much did you get? 25?
Yep. There's 25 different data points, so you should get all the way to 25. Okay. Once we're here, again, if you get lost, I'm right here where it says to create a dot plot of the data with a calculator. So I'm going to create this is page 1.1. I'm going to create page 1.2. To do this, I'm going to hit the orange or yellow button, Control, Dock, and a new page pops up. The Control button, and then DOC, which is right under the on-off next to menu. And then I'm going to choose option 5.
Control what?
Control Dock. It says plus page right under it. Okay, and I get funky stuff like this. Now I have to move my mouse, and I'm going to go down to the bottom, and it says click variable, and I'm going to enter X. And it makes a dot plot for me.
Add graphs, right?
You put enter.
You want to click data and statistics, just like it says for the second step
Oh.
under to create a dot plot of the data that I have. Okay, we're going to add a third page. No, Caleb, it's written in front of you. I'm moving on, sweetheart.
I'm a visual. I can just
Okay.
put it
I'm going to hit Control Doc and it makes a third page. Again, I'm going to hit Add Data and Statistics. Again, I'm going to scroll down and make sure I've picked X so it's on the bottom. So scroll down over the variable thing. It'll ask you what to choose. Pick X. So you got to hit right here, Caleb.
Mhm.
You got
I
it?
just
Okay.
skipped the rest.
So I'm going to hit Menu, and I'm going to hit Plot Type, and I'm going to change it to a histogram, which is number 3. So now I have, that's my dot plot, that's my histogram, and I'm actually going to
Do another one.
I'm going to add another page. Control Doc. I'm going to add another data and statistic page. I'm going to click on here, so I've picked X. And then I'm going to choose Menu again, Plot Type, and this time I'm going to pick Box Plot. So now we have the same data in a box plot, in a histogram, and in a dot plot. Okay? If we go to our last page, which is the box plot, if I go over the median, it tells me what the median is, what quartile 3 is, quartile 1 is. Okay? All right. Now, let's read this question carefully, because we need to decide which one of these to use. So, Isabel knits scarves and sells them online. The table shows the price of scarves she sold last month. At what price were the middle 50% of the scarves sold? Create a data display. So which one do we want to use? Which one's going to be able to tell us what price the middle 50% of the scarves were? A dot plot, a histogram, or a box plot?
Dot plot.
Okay, who votes dot plot? Who votes histogram? Who votes box plot? Okay, because remember, guys, a dot plot does show me each individual piece of data, which ones people picked. A histogram only shows me the frequency, how many people had sold for, like how many sold for 30, how many sold for 40, that kind of thing. The box plot is where it shows you the median and the 50% of the middle. So we want to use that box plot. Enter the data in the graphing calculator. The middle 50% of the scarves were sold. The median is 76, yes. But 50% of the stuff was sold within the box. So if we look on the box, it's between 39 and 98. Okay? 76 is just the median. It's not 50% of the data. 50% of the data is between quartile 1 and quartile 3. Okay. All right. Let's turn the page. Box plot between $39 and $98. So today is all about taking those 3 types of way to display data and choosing the one that works best for us. So let's move on to example 2. Aaron scores 82 points at his karate tournament. He wants to compare his scores to the others in a competition to see how many competitors scored higher than he did. The table below shows all the scores for the competition. What type of data display is appropriate to answer his question? Create the data display that will reveal the answer. Okay, which type of display would be best?
Dot plot.
Okay, Aaron scores 82%. He wants to compare to other competitors. And he wants to see how many competitors scored higher than he did. I think dot plot is our best answer. Okay, so now we're just going to close out of this. We don't need to save. And I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to hit add a list in spreadsheet. Remember, I go up to where it says A, make it X. Then I go down to number 1. And then I'm going to enter all of this. Like 78 goes in number 1, and so on. Again, you can go left to right or up and down. You just need to make sure you have all of the data in your calculator. Nobody should be doing nothing right now. Everybody should be putting this in their calculator. You should have 24 pieces of data for this one. Then what do we do?
Control dot.
Control doc. And I pick which one?
5.
And then I go and click on X right here. And there's my dot plot. Okay. And now how many competitors scored higher than Aaron? Remember, he scored 82. So I like to find where 82 is. You guys get 8?
So you just count?
Yeah. So I found where I moved my little hand over where it says 82, and then I was like, okay, 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are above this little dot right here.
This is what the quiz is going to be on.
No, because we have not done 11.2 at all yet. I sure do. Okay. Okay. So I'm looking at this. When you guys look at this, I can't really tell where 82 is. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of hard to tell. So I'm going to take my little arrow thing and I'm going to put it over until I find where it says 82. Okay, so I know this dot right here is 82. So then I'm counting. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See how there's 2 here, 3 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Yeah. Okay. A group of students use stopwatches to record times for the 100-yard dash. Please don't talk while I'm teaching. For each situation, choose the appropriate data display. Then use the graphing calculator to create that display. Okay? So first we have, Neil wants a data display that clearly shows the shape of the data distribution. What type of display would be best? He wants to show a display of the shape of the data distribution. I would say dot plot for this. Because I want to see where all the points are and see like the distribution of where it goes. See how this shows all the distribution? The histogram just shows the frequency, like how many people got 82, how many were. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Yuki? Yuki wants a display that shows the spread above and below the median. does he want? Which type of display should he have? Dot plot, histogram, or box plot? Above the median is box plot. Okay, we need to, this then asks, what is the median of the data set? So we need to, again, make a new one of these. I'm just not saving this each time just so that nobody else gets the information. I hit a new document, add lists and spreadsheets, make sure A to pick X, go below the gray line, and then I go to number 1. 12.5, 13.3, 13.5, 14.5. Okay. I should have 20 pieces of data for this one. What do I do after I get all my data in? Control Doc,
Wait, hold on.
and then what page am I entering? And then I go down here and click on Skip. Okay, but I don't want a dot plot, I want a box plot. So I hit Menu, Plot Type, Box Plot. Okay, and I want to know the median of the data, which is 13.75. Okay. Theo wants to display that the group's data into intervals. What type of display would be best? Dot, histogram, or box? Histogram does it into intervals. Edie wants to display, Edie wants a display that she could use to find the mean average of the data. Which type of display? Hey. You keep saying some of you keep saying box. Does this say mean or median? Okay. We don't want the median, right? We want the average. So if we look, let's look at these. We hit Menu, Plot Type. Let's look at a dot plot again. Do you think that's easy to find the average?
Yes.
Or do you think histogram's easier to find the average? Okay, average is when I add them all up and divide it by how many numbers there are, right? Okay, so we know it's not really box plot because box plot puts them in order from least to greatest and finds the middle. Histogram would be good to find what? There's mean, median, and mode. Who knows what mode is?
The middle. How many?
Which one is the most frequent, right? So that would be a histogram would be good for that. So I would say a dot plot would be good to find the mean. So now we have to calculate the mean.
All the same numbers.
So if we were finding the average, we would have to add all of these together and divide how many numbers there are. Okay? Add them all together. So we still feel like the dot plot's the answer? Okay. So I'm going to a new page. I just want calculator. So I've got 12.5 plus 13.5 plus 14.1. You guys see what I'm doing? Plus 12.8 plus 13.4 plus 14 plus 11.5 plus 14.2 plus 13.9 plus 14.4 plus 13.3 plus 14.5 plus 13.2 plus 13.6 plus 12 plus 14.5 plus 13.5 plus 14.4 plus 14.1 plus 13.9. And then I'm going to divide it by 20. And I get 13.565. All right. You ready to move on? Okay. Now we're going to take some of this information and compare it. 13.565 is our answer. That's the mean. Okay. So now I am looking at some stuff from 11.2. Okay. So we're starting to look at, Sam has narrowed his car search down to 2 different brands of cars. To make an informed decision, he gathers data on the estimated highway fuel efficiency in miles per gallon of the 2 different brands of cars. So we're going to create a dot plot from this information. Okay? So we're looking right here at 33, I'm going to put a dot. At 35, I put a dot. 34, I put a dot. 35, I put a dot. Do I have to keep saying it out loud, or are we good? It's super annoying. Okay, so that's my first one. I'm just going to move straight on and do my second. Okay. So we're looking at the data. Brand 1's fuel efficiency is mostly between 33 and 38, right? With 41 kind of being a really good one. Brand 2's fuel efficiency is between 35 and 44, with 1 being at 51, kind of an outlier. Which brand do you think you should purchase? Brand 2, right? Almost all of them are higher. Okay. For more details, Sam calculates the mean and mean absolute deviation, or MAD, of the 2 data. To calculate the mean, we're going to add up all the numbers in the data and divide them by the number of data points. So we're going to find the mean for each one of these. Okay? So this is a A lot of entering things, but we can do it.
So I have to add them all together?
Just like I'm gonna add all of data 1 together and divide by how many there are, and then write that down. Then add all of data 2 together, divided by how many there are, write that down. Okay, for the first one I get 35.75. Okay, now I'm gonna do the second one. For the second one I get 40.2. Are you adding them up and dividing by 16? What are you getting?
Well, I'm getting a fraction, and then I click enter again, and it gives me like a 2.5.
Oh, just
Yeah, that's-
change it like so for the first one I got 5, when I added it all up I got 572. Then I divided it by 16.0. And then it gives me the decimal equivalent.
Wait, what? 16.0?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just doing the exact same thing.
Right. Okay. So we are going to calculate the mean absolute deviation, okay, for data 1. So this means to calculate the mean absolute deviation, calculate the absolute value of the difference between each data point and the mean. Then find a mean of those differences. So what we're going to do is, for example, for Brad, data 1, we've got 33. Okay? 33, and I've got just 2 33s. We go 33 minus 35.75, and then take the absolute value of it and find that answer. Okay? So remember the absolute value sign is right next to the 9. Go 33 minus 35.75, and I get 2.75.
So no matter how many there are of like 33.
No, but you only need to do it once for 33, right? Like, so we don't have to do this 16 times, right? Because that would be a big pain. And then we're going to do 34 minus 35.75. Okay? So we're doing the same thing, but we're going to use 34. So we have to do it for each data point. We get 1.75. Then I'm going to do it for 35 minus 35.75. And I get 0.75. Then I'm going to do it for 36. And I get 0.25. And I'm going to do it for 37. I get 1.25. And I'm going to do it for 38. I get 2.25. Then I'm going to do it for 41. And I get 5.25. Okay, so I've got all these things, right? Now, how many 33s do I have? I have 2. How many 34s do I have? How many 35s do I have? How many 36s do I have? How many 37s do I have? How many 38s and how many 41s? Okay, so we are now going to list them 2.75 times 2 plus 1.7, I know it's a lot, 1.75 times 3 plus 0.75 times 3 plus 0.25 times 3 plus, 1.25 times 2 plus 2.25 times 2 plus 5.25. Okay, so let's do that.
Hopefully we can show more appreciation towards statistics now.
There we go, that's the goal. It's probably the math most likely you'll run into after.
This is actual useful math. Okay.
Yeah. When any kind of job you do, you'll probably read something about statistics and you've got to be able to understand what that really means.
Oh, now I'm much more interested in this section.
Good.
We're gonna have, there's gonna be one problem on this, like this. That's
Yeah.
what she just said, that's what she
Actually,
just said.
that's a valid question.
So I don't know because the quiz has not been written.
Why don't you just ask that to
Nobody asked that. They said, "Are we going to have a test on this?" And I said, "Yes."
test.
Okay, we're going to have a test and a quiz. Okay, so this equals 26 when I do it all. Okay, so the sum of all the differences between the data points and the mean is 26. Divide this by the number of data points. So we're going to take 26 and we're going to divide it by how many are there? 16, and I get 1.63. Okay, yeah. 1.63. Okay. It seems like a lot of work, yeah. All right. Nope, why did we use 16? Because that's how many data points there are. If there was 200, we'd have to divide it by 200. If there was 5, we'd have to divide it by 5. How many data points there are. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys work on the second part, which is number 2, which is basically doing the exact same thing we just did. We know what the mean is, right? The mean is 40.25. We did it back here. The mean is 40.25 for number 2. And now you're going to take 40.25 and you're going to find the absolute value for all of these. So like 35 minus 40.25, the absolute value. Find each of those. Okay? So you guys are going to do this. We're going to pick up and do example 2 tomorrow. And then we'll move on with more of 11.2. And you guys can work on 11.1, which should be a little bit easier than this tonight. 11.1, additional practice. And then tomorrow we'll be doing some more stuff with 11.2.
Wait. So which one's
Miss
the homework?
Murphy, you stressed me
Okay.
out.
All of it.
So this is the unit we're on. Okay, so this right here, this is your homework, these 4 problems,
Oh, okay.
additional practice.
Yeah.
And I would like you to try this one right now. Okay, same thing we just did. Okay, that's what you're going to do for tonight.